Students, today we will begin the another lesson, that is 2.3, Somebody's Mother. It is a poem basically, and therefore let us try to understand this particular poem, getting into the shoes of the poetess. This particular poem is written by Mary d'Aubigné, who was born in the year 1816 and died in the year 1913. She was a poet, author, and lyricist. She was from New York. She wrote many poems and children's books and published by different important publishers. She is best known for her poem Somebody's Mother. And here we are today to study with this particular poem, namely Somebody's Mother. Stanza number 1. The woman was old and ragged and grey, and bent with the chill of a winter's day. Meanings are given there: ragged meaning clothes which are torn out, grey again meaning aged, bent meaning sharply curved, and chill meaning extremely cold. So the poem starts with a woman who had worn torn clothes and was old and ragged, and bent with the chill of a winter's day, meaning there was extremely winter season, and the winter cold was so extreme to bear that the old woman was bent down. Therefore पोएम की शुरुआत एक ऐसी बूढ़ी औरत के साथ शुरू होती है जो बहुत ही बूढ़ी थी, जिसके कपड़े फटे पुराने थे, और वो एक चौराहे पे खड़ी होकर रोड क्रॉस करने के लिए इंतजार कर रही थी. The streets were white with the recent snow, and women's feet with age were slow, meaning to say, as it had snowed, the streets had been white. बर्फबारी के कारण पूरा जो मोहल्ला था, पूरा जो सड़क था, वो एकदम सफ़ेद चादर की तरह हो चुका था because of the snow. And the old woman was walking slowly because of her old age. And she was walking very, very slowly because she was frightened whether she may fall, she may slip in the recent snow, and therefore she was walking very, very slow. तो यहाँ पर वो बूढ़ी औरत जो है पूरी तरह असमर्थ होने के कारण, कमज़ोर होने के कारण, बूढ़ी होने के कारण धीरे धीरे रोड पार करने की कोशिश कर रही थी. Jostled aside by the careless throng of human beings who passed her by, unheeding the glance of her anxious eyes. So let us see the number 1, first line. At the crowded crossing, she waited long, meaning to say, when there was a lot of crowd in the junction, she waited there to cross the road. So why was this old lady going in the slippery snow street? Because she wanted to cross the road. So at the crowded crossing, she waited long. She waited there for a long time to cross the road. Jostled aside by the careless throng of human beings who passed her by, unheeding the glance of her anxious eyes. Jostled aside meaning jerked to one side, meaning कीपिंग और बीइंग और स्टैंडिंग एट वन साइड, एक तरफ खड़े हो जाना या एक बगल में चुपचाप से खड़े हो जाना. Throng again means crowd. Unheeding means not noticing. Actually the meaning of heed is to listen, but here it indicates not noticing. अनदेखी करना, बिना देखे. Glance again look, and anxious eyes means worried look. So the careless people pushed her to one side who was passing by her. Therefore आने जाने वाले लोग उस चौराहे में उसको एक तरफ धक्का देकर ढकेल दिए, और she was standing at one side. Nobody was noticing this old lady. So therefore here it is telling the careless people pushed her to one side who was passing by her. जो लोग भी उसके बगल में से गुजर रहे थे धक्का देकर इस बूढ़ी औरत को एक तरफ कर देते थे. No one noticed her worried look about crossing the road. Anxious eyes, here it is given. Nobody was bothered about her, and nobody looked her anxious eyes. उसकी जो आँखें थी वो बहुत चिंतित थी. कहने का मतलब है she wanted to cross the road and she was needing somebody who can help her, but none meaning nobody noticed her crossing the road. Down the street with a laughter and shout, glad in the freedom of school let out, came happy boys like a flock of sheep. The first 3 lines. Glad again meaning pleased, happy, flock meaning group. So down the street with laughter and shout, from the school the boys came out with happiness and shouting. Why? Because the school was over. Therefore वहाँ एक मोहल्ले में या फिर वहीं पर स्ट्रीट में कुछ बच्चे जो है वो दौड़ते हुए चिल्लाते हुए स्कूल से छुट्टी होने के कारण बाहर निकल रहे थे. Glad in the freedom of school let out meaning to come out. Why? Because the school was over. So the children were very, very happy, shouting and laughing. Like a sheep flowing the header, children came out in a line. And ये जो बच्चे थे एक भीड़ की तरह एक दूसरे को फॉलो करते हुए दे केम इन अ लाइन आउट ऑफ द स्कूल लाइक ए फ्लॉक of a sheep. Here the comparison is made and therefore figure of speech will be simile. The boys are compared to the flock of sheep. Down the street with laughter and shout, glad in the freedom of school, let out came happy boys like a flock of sheep. Hailing the snow piled white and deep, past the woman so old and grey, hastened the children on their way. Hailing the snow, shouting merrily at the snow, piled, heaped, past, going ahead, hastened, hurried. So, by seeing the heap of the snow, the boys started to shout merrily, happily. बर्फ़ देखकर ये जो लड़के थे स्कूल में से जो वापस आ रहे थे घर की तरफ जाने के लिए, they were all very very happy by looking at the sight of the snow, and they started to go ahead of that old and aged woman very quickly on their way, and without noticing, without seeing this old lady, they started moving. ये बच्चे भी उनको या फिर उस बूढ़ी औरत को उन्होंने अनदेखी करके अपने अपने रास्ते निकलने लग गए. नो वन, नन, या none offered a helping hand to her, so weak and timid, afraid to stir. Again meanings are given there. Offered meanings gave, then weak meaning too gentle to defend oneself, timid again, shy and scared, stir meaning move or walk. Again here if you say weak and timid, these two words have the similar meaning, therefore we can say another figure of speech, namely tautology. So from those boys no one gave her a helping hand, or nobody helped her to cross the road. She was so weak, so timid and so afraid to walk, and therefore she could not cross the road by herself, but these boys also nobody helped. Lest the carriage wheel of the horse's feet, lest meaning given perhaps, should trample her down in the slippery street. Lest again perhaps, trample down means walk over. Slippery again, difficult to stand because of the smooth and wet surface. So from these boys no one gave her a helping hand to cross the road. She was so weak and timid and afraid to walk. She thought that the carriage wheel of the horses, कहने का मतलब है घोड़ा गाड़ी, she thought that the carriage wheel of the wheels of the horses would perhaps run over her feet and she may get hurt. उसको ऐसा लगा कि शायद ये घोड़ा गाड़ी के जो पहिए हैं वो उसके पैर के नीचे आ जाएंगे और इसके कारण शायद वो गिर जाएगी या फिर उसको तकलीफ होगी रोड क्रॉस करने के लिए, and therefore she was not able to cross the road. 5. At last came out the merry troop, the gayest boy of all the group. He paused beside her and whispered low, I'll help you across if you wish to go. The gayest meaning happiest, paused again, stopped by, whispered, spoke quietly. So at last there was a last group from the school, and from that group there was one of the happiest boy who came beside her and told her if she wanted to cross the road, this particular boy would help her to cross the road. So at last the happy boy, or at last the happy group of boys came out from the school, and from that group the happiest boy stopped beside her and asked quietly her that if she would wish to cross the road, this particular boy will help her to cross the road. And आखिरी में एक आखिरी झुंड बच्चों का एक आखिरी समूह अपने घर की तरफ जाने लग गया, और वहाँ से एक लड़का जो बहुत ही खुशनुमा लग रहा था वो लड़का आया, और उन्होंने बड़े ही धीरे आवाज़ में उस बूढ़ी औरत के पास जाकर कहा कि अगर आपकी इच्छा होगी तो मैं आपको मदद करने के लिए तैयार हूँ. Her aged hand on her strong arm she placed, and so without hurt or harm he guided the trembling feet along. Hurt or harm again, injuries, trembling, shivering, proud, feeling proud of oneself, his own meaning his own mother. So यहाँ पर स्टैंजा नंबर 6 में ये कहा गया है कि the old woman placed her aged hand on the strong arms of that boy, and that boy he carefully guided the shivering feet. Shivering मतलब कांपना, ठंड से जो बूढ़ी औरत कांप रही थी. Shivering feet means the aged woman without any hurt or harm, बिना कोई नुकसान पहुंचाए उस बूढ़ी औरत को ये लड़के ने जो है अपने सहारा के द्वारा, अपने हेल्प के द्वारा उन्होंने रोड क्रॉस करने के लिए मदद किया. He was feeling proud on himself, The boy was feeling very, very proud on himself because he helped this particular old lady whose mother was young and strong. So this boy was feeling very, very happy, very, very proud because this boy could not help her own mother because her own mother was young and very, very strong. But he was very happy to help this old lady who was needing the help of this particular boy. So आखिरी में ये जो लड़का था, जो सबसे खुशनुमा लड़का जो था, उसने अपने कंधों पे इस बूढ़ी औरत को के हाथ रखकर उन्हें बिना कोई नुकसान किए उन्होंने उस औरत को रोड क्रॉस करने के लिए मदद की. Her aged hand on the strong young arm she placed, and so without hurt or harm he guided the trembling feet along, proud that his own were young and strong. Then back again to his friends he went, his young heart happy and well contented. Content means satisfied. And the boy returned to his friends group again after helping this old woman. His heart had been filled with happiness and satisfaction. Why? Because this particular boy had helped this old lady. And if we help somebody, our hearts also will be filled with happiness and satisfaction. Therefore, never be afraid to help somebody who is in need because it gives you an inner joy and inner happiness, and which is more worth than any other thing that we can receive on this worldly world. She is somebody's mother, somebody's mother. She is somebody's mother, mother, boy, you know. For all she is aged and poor and slow. The boy told his friends after going to the group again. The boy told his friends that she was the mother of somebody and was very old, very poor and very slow. तो ये लड़के ने अपने साथियों को जाकर क्या कहा? उन्होंने कहा कि वो भी किसी एक की माँ थी जो बहुत ही बूढ़ी औरत थी, बहुत ही गरीब एंड वेरी वेरी स्लो. देयरफॉर लड़के ने अपने साथियों को कहा कि अगर आज मैंने इस बूढ़ी औरत को मदद किया तो वो भी किसी की माँ है, अर्थात मैंने भी अपनी माँ को मदद किया है. And someone sometime may lend a hand to help my mother, you understand, if ever she is old and poor and grey, and her own dear boy so far away. Very, very beautifully here it is said, lend a hand meaning help. So he said, the boy said that the time would come when his own mother, now who is now strong and young, when his own mother would become old and perhaps he would not be there. तो ये लड़के ने क्या कहा कि एक दिन ऐसा भी आएगा जब मेरी माँ भी बूढ़ी होगी और शायद मैं अपनी माँ को हेल्प करने के लिए उस समय में अपनी माँ के साथ ना रहूं. बट ही वॉज श्योर दैट समवन वुड डेफिनेटली बी देयर टू हेल्प हिज ओल्ड मदर लाइक हिम. परंतु ये लड़की को इतनी आशा थी कि कोई ना कोई उसकी बूढ़ी माँ को भी जब उनकी ज़रूरत पड़ेगी देन शी विल बी हेल्प बाय. सो दैट इज़ the juncture, or that is a gesture. If we help somebody in need, God also will help us. Therefore it is a reciprocal give and take. If you help somebody, God will also help you in his own way. That was the conviction, that was the belief that this boy had while helping this old lady. If today I am able to help this old lady, somebody also would help my own mother when I am not with her. Somebody's mother bowed low her head in her home that night, and the prayer she said was, God be kind to that noble boy who is somebody's son and pride and joy. So here somebody's means, somebody's mother means that the old woman whom that boy had helped. So this old woman went to her home, and that night she sat to pray to God. And what did she pray? In her prayer she said, she asked God with a feeling proud and happy that he would show the kindness to helpful boy who was somebody's son. तो ये बूढ़ी औरत जब अपने घर पे गई तो उन्होंने भगवान से प्रार्थना किया कि भगवान उस लड़के को आशीर्वाद दो जिसने मेरी मदद की, क्योंकि that particular boy also belongs to somebody's. That means this particular lady, old lady, blessed the boy for helping this lady. So therefore, remember my dear students, help without getting anything from the opposite. Therefore, our help must be selfless. We should not help somebody because we will receive some favor, some gift, some money, or something. Our help should be generous, our help should be selfish because God is watching all that we are doing. Therefore, definitely one day God will reward us. So, by learning this poem, we come to understand that help is something very, very important in our life. If we do good to others, we also will get good done by God, not immediately, but later, somewhere, sometime. Therefore, believe in the providence of God and never stop helping anybody who comes in your life. Thank you. I hope you have understood this poem. If you have any queries, you can interact with me. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.